All right, we on live out.
Gone. All right, Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala. This great Millstone, Louisiana Saints, New Orleans camp coming back at you with another live Shabbat lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
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 Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, in this lesson, we just want to go into how the Lord's way is better, okay? Because a lot of our people are waking up in these last days. There's a huge influx of Israelites, and also a lot of our people that have known they're Israelites for a while. They've been watching different videos and choosing a bit from this camp, a bit from that camp. They know they're Israel. They know so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites, but instead of hearkening unto the scriptures and conforming themselves into the mind of Yahushua, they want to try to find some other way. They want to basically put on a show for the camera. They want to make this about merchandise. They want to make this about their own ego or whatever they were in the world. And the end result is always horrible. The Lord's way is always right, even if it doesn't seem that way. Matter of fact, we could start with the Proverbs 14 and 12, whoever had that.
There's Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Right. There's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. When you come out of the world, whatever you're involved in, before you find out you're an Israelite, before you read the commandments and try to keep the commandments to the best of your ability, there's a way that's going to seem right in your mind. All right. If you were a Muslim, Islam is going to seem right to you and you're going to try to mix that with the scriptures. If you were into black consciousness, wokeism, grand rising, all of this nonsense, and then you come into the truth, that way it's going to seem right unto you. If you're into whatever it is, it could be hip hop. Jake got a love for hip hop music. If Jake tries to bring that into the truth, and what happens is death. You end up causing the truth to look like something in the world, which this is supposed to be holy. This is a holy convocation. So if Jake was left up to his own devices, we'd be having precept battles. We'd be having, Dominican women in bikinis and head wraps, all kind of just a weird mix of whatever Jake is into in the world. They try to bring it into the truth. It's better to just start from a blank slate and trust in the Lord. Matter of fact, bring out that Proverbs 3 and 5 real quick.
Con, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse 5. It says, Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right. And this is a precept that is very popular among so-called Christians, but Christians are number one in leading on to their own understanding. Here it is, just you're quoting Proverbs 3 and 5, but then you believe in Christianity. You believe in the virgin birth. You believe God loves everybody. You believe in all of these doctrines from the Catholic Church that have nothing to do with the Holy Scriptures. You're supposed to trust in Yahweh with all your heart. All your mind is supposed to be based on the Scriptures, not your own private interpretation, not your own lusts, what you want to do in the world, who you want to be in the world. You want to mix that with the Bible. That's off. And as the brother read in Proverbs 14, the end of that is death. The end of that is you falling out the truth, going back into the world. The end of that is you corrupting younger brothers because they're looking up to you. Or if they find out they're an Israelite, they click on a YouTube channel of a guy with a giant beard. He might have a gray beard. He might be an older man, but he's bugged out in his mind. So a young Jake is looking at you like, okay, this is the way I'm supposed to be. This is what an Israelite is. He's a Christian rapper. Or this is what an Israelite is. He's a carnal nigga with a gun and a Bible who's threatening people on the streets. This is not the way that we should be. This is not the way we should be conducting ourselves, and that's not the example set by Yahushua. You brothers have anything we can?
I got one real fast. Did you get Sirach 5?
No, not yet.
Yeah, this is Sirach 5, and I'm going to get straight to the point, too. It says, Follow not thy own mind, thy strength, to walk in the ways of thy heart.
Yeah, it's plain. Don't follow your own mind, and that takes a lot of humility for you to say as an adult male, as a fully grown man, for you to say, look, I ain't got it. I'm gonna just trust in the Lord. Only a small remnant of men are gonna have the humility and the honesty to say that. Because again, if you grew up in Babylon the Great, if you were raised to be an African American, if you were raised to be a Baptist, if you were raised to be Pan-African conscious, all of these things have polluted your mind. So when you come into the truth, the first thing you have to understand as a man is, look, my mind ain't right, man. Everything I've been taught is a lie. Jake can say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy theory. Jake will go on Instagram and upload so-called conspiracies and memes saying, well, look, this is a lie. The bank is a lie, education is a lie. But then you grew up hearing these things. Don't you think that that's
Con,
affected your mind? You,
I got a quick one with you.
yeah, if you grew up
It's
hearing nothing but lies, you got to understand that your mind has to be conformed to the scriptures. You have to be reborn. There's no way around that. You got to collide.
Con, this Proverbs 16 and verse 2. It says, "All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirit." Hey, and
Okay.
just backing up what you were saying, brother, the point you was making. You know, a man might see all the, might come into the truth with things he learned from the world, but that don't mean those things are right. You got to filter it through the scriptures, you know. And like you said, man, it take a real man, well, we know it as the elect, but a specific sect of men who gonna, pretty much drop their pride and say, hey, all of my ways are not right. Majority of my ways are not right unless they, coming through the spirit. But you got it, brother.
That's a beautiful point, because when you come into the truth, one of the first things and one of the most important things in this truth is brotherhood. It's not just reading the Bible. It's not just uploading a bunch of videos. It's a brotherhood. And the only way that you could survive and thrive within the ministry of men that are humble is for you yourself to be humble. We've had
That's
cases
right.
where, we're all joined in one mind, and then some other bug out Israelite will come up. He's been watching videos. He has 100 precepts. He's got, the fringes on the t-shirt. He's got a beard. He has the look. He's reading the scriptures, but he doesn't know how to be a brother. Why? Because if all of us are joined in one mind, which is to humble ourselves to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and the order that he set up on the earth, okay, on earth as it is in heaven, and he's coming with some rebel, like I just got so many precepts and I'm so righteous. I got a t-shirt with a lion on it and fringes, and I can back you up with this precept, Kwame Asharala, deaf to, he's super duper, like he's filled with zeal, but he can't be a brother. He can't operate in humility amongst other men. So what good is it for you to know the commandments, but you don't trust in the Lord? You trust in yourself. You trust in your memory. You trust in being eloquent of speech. You trust in your garment, the arm bands, and all of this outward stuff. But you're not humble because you don't trust in the Lord. Matter of fact, we can get that Romans 10 to go with
Man,
that.
I'm holding that out.
Come on,
It's Romans 10 and 1. I'm gonna start at the top.
come on.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Yahweh for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge.
Con.
For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh.
Right. Come on. You want to speak on it, or
Yeah, kind of, like saying Jake has their own form of righteousness and godliness, man. They want to remix the scriptures. Like the brother said, they want to wear t-shirts with fringes. They want to come out, in garments, pretty much. They want to go out there and fitted caps, dark shades. Just making up their own righteousness, man. And got women, twerking and dancing, fashion shows, and all this kind of bull. It's complete madness, man.
come on. And that's like we said earlier. That leads to death. It seems right in your own mind. If you grew up in a Christian church and you find out you're Israelite, your first thought is, okay, so-called Negroes of the tribe of Judah. My wife is a Judite. I'm a Judite. My kids are Judites. We can make this a family affair. We can make this a family man thing. I could bring my whole family in the truth. I give my wife a head wrap. I give my son a Hebrew name, and we can go out to camp together and praise Ahia and all of this madness, man. The Lord's name is Yahweh, not Ahia, and your woman's supposed to be at home. We're having a spiritual warfare. Anything can happen, man. Literally, just last week, you had Jake threatening, pulling his shirt off over his man bun. You don't want your wife next to you when you're preaching the downfall of Babylon, man. Anything can happen. You can get arrested. Like that might seem right in your mind. Okay, I'm a family man. I'm going to show my family on camera and show Israel a righteous family. But the end of that is death. The Lord didn't tell you to do that. So what are you doing? You putting on a show for your own ego. You got it.
Yeah, like that,
I got one for you. Oh,
like that one cat too. Man, you talking about, I showed you Jake in the front line of his house with a table. He got the
Yeah.
Got the damn armbands come to his elbows and shit.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he got a do on, got the headband. He got a Israelite headband on with the do rag on, and on the front line of his house preaching, man. You know, crazy, man.
Yeah, the Lord clearly said, "Go out to the highways and hedges and bid them to the marriage." You preaching on your front lawn, which is nothing wrong with you doing a sit down in your yard, but that's not the main. That's not the chief place of concourse, man. That's you clearly off. Jake just want to be Jake just want to be his own version of what an Israelite's supposed to be instead of Yahushua, a disciple, all right, which requires discipline and requires Samak, if you're still on Romans 10, you could read 3 again, Baba Gashah.
Okay, good. Let me
He's doing shit
Romans 10.
that's going to be seen in men.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Romans 10 and 3. For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh.
They haven't submitted themselves. All right. The word submit means to put under the mission. All right. Sub meaning under, and then mission is something you send out. This is where you get the word missile. A missile is something sent. So you have to be under the mission of Yahweh, which is clearly defined in the scriptures. It's not vague. Like the Lord's not going to give you his name, his law, statutes, and commandments, our heritage back, and then just tell you to go freestyle. Just do your own thing. Freestyling is what got us in this position. All right. People bucking up against Moses, people bucking up against King David, people bucking up against Isaiah, Jeremiah, and the prophets. All right, it tells you in Daniel that we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord, your prophets. That's today. Right now, we have actual prophets on the earth, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and the men that are in like mind that are saying the same thing. We're joined on one accord. That's the voice of the Lord. So you hear that, you go, I like the way these guys talk about the heathen, but I don't really like how they get on the black woman. Don't they know she's a queen? Don't they know she's a goddess? Or I like the way these guys go into history, but I don't like the way they talk about the so-called white man. God created all nations. So they'll take bits and pieces that they like and pervert the doctrine because there's something in their flesh that disagrees with the Holy Scriptures. So they just make the Bible mean whatever they want it to mean. And the end thereof is the ways of death. The brother can get
Okay, now, if I get one real quick.
you got it.
Okay, and it's Sirach chapter 3, verse 24. It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinions, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. So just like you were saying, you may feel like that, like you said, God loves everybody and all that, but that's not what the Lord said. That's your own opinion, and your opinion is vain, meaning it's empty. It doesn't mean anything to the Lord.
You got read that again.
All right. Sirach 3 and 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinions, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment.
Many are deceived by their own vain opinion. And really, it tells you in Job that the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Most High actually has Israelites bugged out enough to know who they are, who their teachers are, and they still think I could do my own thing. I got this. I could break down the scripture this way. I could come with this gimmick, and if I come with this gimmick, I can get more views, and then I can exalt myself as being the top teacher in Israel. But people that you have the most views because they're not coming for Yahushua. They're not coming for the true doctrine. They're coming because you're rapping, or you have like a sea of women in head wraps, and they're teaching. You have women teach like this. That's of the world. Yahushua didn't tell us to do these things. So, when you're deceived by your own vain opinion, that's really the Lord keeping you away from his holy tabernacle. Not everybody's gonna make it, Jake. Just get this through your head, all right? This idea that everyone that knows they're Israelite is of the elect, and people that don't know they're Israelites, those are the 2/3. That's not in the scriptures at all, man. There are a lot of 2/3 that are in camps. There are a lot of 2/3 that have thousands of viewers that say shalom on the comment board. All right, there's a lot of people that are in your family that aren't in the truth that are going to be saved. Just because somebody, you got it.
My bad. I was about to say they just half-stepping Israelites, man.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Camera act like Israelites, but deep down, when the camera off, they act like niggas, man. They do niggas. I didn't see guys with fringes on still smoking Black and Miles and shit.
Yeah.
And they would tell you in a minute. I learned this on my own, which is bullshit. Right? You don't give double honors to the men. How you know? How would you know how to say how about Shai, the 12 tribe sign, put on a garment, anything? You know, if it wasn't for under the tutorship of other men. And these really sticks out. This is the red flags with a lot of these guys, man. Right? You know, they don't want to teach under the teachings of the sound doctrine of other scriptures. They want to, like this brother said, remix. Which I like the scripture here to back it up. You know, I'm gonna let the brother. I'm gonna let these scriptures talk though. And but it's really that rock of offense. You know, and I got it right here. Which the Lord laid those stumbling blocks to you. That way you can't get the whole these people. All right, they can't get the whole word. You know you're Israelite, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're still eating defiled foods. All type of shit come up, man. Like we didn't been out there on the block where chicks be like, oh, I know I'm Israelite, but she's dressed like a whore though, man. She's worse than a prostitute. And they tell you shalom and all that other crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? You just really playing with yourself. But here it is. You can break it down. I'm a wide. This is 1 Peter 2:5. It says, "Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High, and Yahushua Mashiach. Wherefore also it is contained in the scriptures, Behold, I lay up in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner." And it's the point right here. It says, "In a stone of stumbling, a rock of offense, even unto them which stumble at the word, which stumbles at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they are appointed."
God. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm glad you read the whole part, because the first part, Apostle Peter, he likens us unto lively stones, and really the Most High is the architect. All right, when you read Psalms, I believe 127, it says, if they build a house without Yahweh, they labor in vain that build it. So Yahushua is the chief cornerstone of the Lord's house. All right, the house of David, the house of Israel. So if you're coming with your own blueprint, all right, the Most High already set a blueprint. He's building a house. Yahushua is the chief cornerstone, but you don't like Yahushua, you're going to end up building your own house, which is in vain. And he's really, brothers really have to understand, Yahushua was a walking stumbling block, and he still is to this very day. This word itself is a stumbling block. It's intentionally made to keep out the undesirables and to gather the elect from the four winds. So when you see somebody and they can't get a certain part of the doctrine, well, I don't know if Latinos or Israelites, it's all about melanin. Like that guy, he tripped over Yahushua. He can't get it.
And
even got to pray for you.
Real quick, even what we talked about earlier, I'm a wide. Even when a lot of the stumbling blocks happen with just in the ways of a particular order of things, man. All right, the structure of things, you're not in agreement with that. You're not in agreement with just nothing. All right, that's there's a particular order that comes with being in these camps. There's a particular order of how to move, how to conduct yourself. All right, and you're not with that way. There's a problem, man.
Yeah. Jake has a problem with order, man. Order does a lot, man. Order does away with confusion, with strife, with pride. Imagine if there was no order. You were just a bunch of Israelites that know they're Israel. There's no camps, just random people just breaking down the scriptures however they want. That's sloppy, man. That's a horrible house. The Lord's not dealing with that. He's not putting his name on a pile of bricks, man. He's putting his name on a house of lively stones that are ordered and structured to make a temple. A temple is not just a bundle of sticks, man. There's a word for a bundle of sticks, all right? Which we won't say in this, but a temple is not a bundle of sticks, all right? It's lively stones neatly fit together to create a monument, man. Zion. But you say you haven't
okay. So
you gotta cut you off.
Okay, I just wanted I was just looking up that what is a cornerstone, just for edification on showing you that Yahushua when it stated he is that chief cornerstone. And check out what it says. It says, a chief or head cornerstone is placed above two walls to maintain them together and avoid the building to fall apart.
That's plain, man.
Beautiful.
So when you see, you know, sometimes you'll see a large structure, and then you'll see like the corner, like the brother said, it keeps the building together, man. And that's Yahushua. He keeps the building together. So if you have a problem with Yahushua, how are you going to take part in the building? It's plain. But you got to go out.
Con, I just wanted to pretty much back up the point the elder made. You know, hey, these men, they know men and women, they know they Israelites. You know, shalom this and head wraps and shit like that. And it's ultimately wisdom rejects them, because at one point in time they were imparted a small piece of wisdom, but wisdom in herself rejected them. And this the precept to pretty much back that up. This the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 20. It says, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain in her. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it be too long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. It's pretty much backing the point up. A wisdom is given to select men. All right. And it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, that's very important to understand, man. Jake coming to truth, they first, which is natural. You're happy to get your heritage back, your nationality back. You find out so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites, and you try to tell everybody and make everybody get it and come together. But as the brother read, that's your opinion, and it's vain. It's vain to think that all the camps are going to come together. Let's put aside our differences. No, our differences are based on Yahushua, which is the word. This isn't a matter of, this is my opinion versus your opinion. No, this is the truth versus your opinion. There's no such thing as my truth. There's the truth and everything else. So if you're not coming under the correct doctrine, there's no unity. What the hell is a unity camp? We're going to eat chicken and then argue over, whether or not Cornelius was an Israelite. We're going to, that's madness, man. We don't want to be around you niggas for 1 second. Then we have to, man, on the highways and hedges and doing these lessons. I'm not trying to eat chicken and drink wine and then argue about the MOTB. That's madness, man. If the Lord didn't reveal it to you, have a nice day. Enjoy death, enjoy getting hit with a missile, enjoy being here when America is wiped off the face of the earth, and then we'll unite in the kingdom. All right, that's the unity camp. All right, for 2/3 in the kingdom of heaven. After you get reborn, you come through the loins of the righteous men. We can fellowship then. It'll be all good. Our wives will be changing your diapers. It is what it is.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because what it says.
What the scripture says, can two walk together except they be agreed, man?
Come
on. You got it, y'all.
I was just backing up the point of what he said. That's why you said we will have that unity in the kingdom. That's why I said in that day, no man shall teach us to know the Lord, for we shall all know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's the new covenant. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
All shall know me, from the least to the greatest. Which again, even in the kingdom, there's going to be order. Yahushua said what in Matthew 5:17? Those that keep the commandments and teach others are going to be the greatest in the kingdom. 2/3 are still going to be in the kingdom, but they're going to be the least. Matter of fact, Kabar, if you give me Romans 11 and 28, because the people that want to do their own thing, that don't trust in Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, and lean on their own understanding, they were ultimately set up to come against us and establish our righteousness, which is of Yahushai. You got it up.
They said Romans 11?
11 and 28.
All right. It's Romans 11 and 28. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes, but as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sakes.
Right. They're enemies for our sakes. They keep us sharp. They come out to the camp and they call themselves coming against the doctrine, which causes us to bring out precepts, which edifies the body. This is how a lot of brothers came into the truth. I'm watching videos I see scoffers, and I see the men of the Lord, the prophets, a great millstone. Oh, give me this precept, give me that precept. Oh, that's in the Bible. I didn't know that. There's no other way. You're not gonna just walk into your grandmother's living room, trip, and then fall. The Bible just falls on Romans 9, and you just happen to read it. Like, no,
Con.
these people are enemies for our sake. They come against the doctrine so that we can reprove them with the scriptures. And whether they get it or not, whoever's supposed to get it, they're gonna get it. We edify for the camera. So even if the nigga's bugged out of his mind, even when they leave, we still go into the scriptures because they're potential members of the elect that are gonna get it when we read the scriptures. So there's really nothing you could do against the truth before the truth, man.
Yep.
You got it, Samaki?
Okay, kind. It's 1 Samuel 15 and 23.
Mhm.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Most High, ye have also rejected thee from being king. But the point was just, being rebellious, man, not fully submitting yourself into Yahweh, man, into his righteousness. That's a sin as a witchcraft, and they said that's gonna take place. You're gonna have part of that lake of fire, man, when those nuclear CBM missiles hit. Those idolaters, liars, whoremongers, things of that sort. And stubbornness is iniquity and idolatry, man. So hey, that's another, hitting the head on the nail, man. You gonna get burned alive, man, trying to do your own thing out here. Remixing the scriptures, man. There's nowhere, you adding, man. You adding to the scriptures, man. And your name won't be found in that book of life doing that bullshit out here.
That's why right here, and let me get it. Come on. This is Ezekiel 2:22-5. It says, and they, whether they were, it says, let me go up. They 4. It says, for they are impudent children, stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thou said, thus said the Lord Yahweh, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them when all these things go down. When these different events, the main events of the MOBT, mock
JT.
attacks here in America, starvation, you name it, they're gonna know. All right, you got it out.
Okay. Yeah, those are both good precepts because a lot of our people, when you go into opinions, our people really think that I have my opinion and you have your opinion, not realizing that rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. And again, going back to Jake's that know that they're Israelites, they'll keep certain commandments. They'll stop eating pork. They'll not commit adultery. They'll stop worshiping Cesare Borgia. They'll honor their father and mother. They'll keep certain precepts and think that, okay, I'm in obedience to the Lord, not knowing that if you don't submit to Yahushua, you're in total disobedience. You could so-called keep the 10 commandments, but then you have a problem with prophets being on the earth. You have a problem with prophecy. You have a problem with the heathen going into slavery. You have a problem with America being destroyed. All right, that's serious rebellion, and that's witchcraft. For you to take the Holy Bible and try to make Babylon seem cool is witchcraft, and that's way worse than just. I won't say it's worse than eating pork, but really it is because it's rebellion. It's sin. Matter of fact, get Kalaya, if you can get Romans 16 and 17.
Con, I got you.
Because Jake really thinks that teaching another doctrine is cool as long as you keep the commandments. They'll actually say that. They'll say, well, look, we all know we're Israelites and we all keeping the commandments, so that's enough. No, the actual prophecies are a doctrine, which we have to get that too. But you can get that Romans.
It's Romans chapter 16, verse 17. It says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. For they
mark them which cause division. And when you hear the truth, and then there's some part of the truth you don't like because you're not trusting in the Lord. You want to do things your own way. You don't trust in the Lord's way. You change the doctrine, and that's idolatry, which is going to tell you in the next verse. But a brother, real quick, Sirach 24 and 33.
I got a quick one for you
And
too,
it's
brother.
okay.
Uh,
You can hit it real quick, or
Get that first, and then we'll go back to that.
this Sirach 24 and 33 says, "I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever."
Right. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy. So hearing that Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, when you have a teacher who's led by the Holy Spirit, and they can go into Revelations 18, they can go into Jeremiah 50, they can go into Isaiah 14, they could explain to you where America is in the Bible and what's going to happen to America in the Bible. And then you say, well, look, I wear fringes, I grow my beard, so that's enough. But I don't know about this other stuff. That's you're coming against the doctrine, which is witchcraft. You're rebelling. You think you're keeping the commandments, but you're rebelling against prophecy, which is worse. I was going to tell you. You read verse 18.
God, back in Romans chapter 16 and verse 18, it says, "For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, but their own belly and good Salakia, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple."
Right. They're serving their own belly. They don't serve Yahushua. They're reading the same Bible we're reading. Sometimes they'll even break down certain scriptures correctly. Deuteronomy 28, Ezekiel 37. They might go into Israel waking up in these last days and then go way left, like just out of nowhere. They're not serving Yahushua. Even if they call on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, but the doctrine is wrong, they're serving their own belly. And it says, by good works and fair speeches, deceive the minds and hearts of the simple. Simple-minded Jakes want to hear, I knew all along Great Millstone was wrong. I believed in this and that, but I like what this guy's saying over here. We don't have to be in a camp. We don't have to go out to the highways and hedges. The Lord's dealing with all of Israel. Like just little crazy stuff like that is like come on, Jake. You're being deceived because you're simple, and someone's telling you what you want to hear. You have itchy ears. You want to hear certain things that make you feel comfortable, and so you run with it, which makes you rebellious. You say you had one, Kalia?
God, this back in that Proverbs, I kind of wanted to read down a little bit. Proverbs 3 and verse 7, it says, "Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil." Because, backing up the scripture Samakia brought out a little while ago, it's wicked to pretty much be on I kind of lost my words, but it's wicked to go against the doctrine, bro. It's wicked to be wise in your own eyes. That's pride, man. That's wickedness. And that's why it says to depart from evil. If you wise in your own eyes, that's you slowly becoming wicked, man.
Yeah.
You got it, brother.
It may take a minute for you to notice because you cloaked in righteousness. You got a bunch of you got righteousness, but you have stains on your raiment. All right, your garment isn't white. All right, you have blots, you have spots, and you have leaven. All right, Scripture tells you a little bit of leaven up the whole lump.
The whole lump. That's right.
So when you start teaching another doctrine, even if you have 80% of the doctrine correct, that 20% is enough to get you killed and your listeners. Especially if you're teaching that the MOTB is an embargo or
Christianity.
Christianity. You could take the Quran in your right hand, but then you can take it out. You're going to get your congregation killed. But you're reading the Bible. You're reading you're keeping certain commandments. You got a beard. You got fringes, but you're breaking down the scriptures incorrectly in a way that's going to get a lot of people killed. And this is going to happen. Yeah. But Kabar, you have one?
Yeah, I got one. It's Sirach 20 verse 32. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life while they guide. Yeah, that's simple. Like, it's better try to seek the Lord, follow the Lord's way, than just do your own thing. All right, which you gonna be destroyed for that, man. All right, and the bottom line is Jace don't understand what they are a part of. All right, and what we're a part of is we are auditioning for salvation. We are auditioning to be joint heirs. We Yahushua. You ought to be joint heirs with Yahushua. You can't just do your own thing. You gotta follow the footprint of Yahushua laid out for us, which is His word, the scriptures, man. All right, you got it.
Mind if I make a statement real quick? Notice how I said necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better. So that patience is literally necessary. Right? You can't rush this thing. Because that's actually what would have caused you to want to do your own thing when it's not moving as fast as you want it to move. So you feel like you could do better. You could do
That's
things
right.
a little different from what's already been laid out. But you got to have patience in this thing. Remember, that's one of the major qualities of the Lord is that He's long suffering. He's the most patient being of it. And we got to follow that. Follow what's been already laid out. You got to.
I got
Beautiful point.
I'm a watch.
You got it.
Okay. It's Revelations 22:18. It says, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecies of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man should take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book."
Which is
Right.
plain, man. You start adding to the scriptures, you start remixing the breakdowns, you start saying things that clearly are not backed up by precepts. You're gonna be left here as it tells you in Ezekiel, and the Most High is gonna melt you when those missiles land, man. You're gonna be hit with the same plagues as the heathen, and you don't want to do that, man. You don't want to put off your life and then come into the truth 80% of the way, 75% of the way, 92% of the way, and then get destroyed over your own vain opinion. Just one little thing you didn't like about the doctrine, you thought that it was worth your salvation to add your own little twist to the scriptures. And the Lord, listen, man, when you go off like that, the Lord will actually he'll give you what you want. You want a giant YouTube following. You have all kind of people that learn from Great Millstone. They start their own camp and then just get tens of thousands of subscribers, and they think in their mind, okay, I'm doing a good thing. I'm raising up the elect. I'm gathering the Lord's sheep. Meanwhile, you breaking down the scriptures incorrectly. And again, you teaching that the MOTB is whatever, and you and your congregation get put to death.
And guess what? Those are tens of thousands of demons, man.
Yep.
Oh, you got the Flavor Flav demon. All the niggas is cheering you on, man.
Yeah.
You know, rooting you on. Do it. Say that shit. You know, and you just caught in yourself, all self-centered and shit, and you go off and follow that shit, man, because you think you somebody. Oh God, I make 900 videos a day. Oh, I got this many followers. You don't never hear. We don't care. Like, we don't care how many people follow us or subscribe. I don't care how many videos. I really just care about 2 people watching the videos, man. How about Yahweh Shai, man? How about Yahweh Shai? I can care less. You know, and of course you got the apostles in the leadership, but I don't care. Like that guy, we had a guy last week. Where all y'all people at? Nigga did this. He would go all the way around. Well, y'all, we don't care about that. The scripture says we got to teach them to the wind, man. And we do it. Some weekends we teach them to the wind. And it's fine with me, man. And like I said, we don't care. We're not looking for a big congregation. The Lord said He's coming from the a small remnant of people, man. And that's what's stuck in a lot of you bonehead Israelites' head. You think you gotta have a big congregation, a big mega church, 3-piece Mississippi suits on and shit. Nah, man, the Lord ain't coming like that. All right, that's really your way. That's a tradition of men thing that was passed down. And you believing that the Lord's dealing with a mega church, a big following of people. The Lord ain't dealing with that. The Lord's dealing with the underdog, the people that you overlook, the small number that you overlook. That's to be the ones who the Lord dealing with, man. Point blank, period. You got it out.
I got it. You got it, brother.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, real quick to back up the elder. This 1 Corinthians 1:27, it says, "But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty." Yeah, so you have a lot of people that think that there's so-called power in numbers. When you read the scriptures, the Most High intentionally dwindled down numbers. He'll have an army of 300 take out tens of thousands to show His power. So right now He's using the prophets on the highways and hedges who don't seem like much to these people, confounding, the top scholars, professors, theologians, so-called scholars of the Bible. We make them look like the fools that they are. And why do we do that? Because the glory goes to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. If he had the top scholars confounding people that didn't know anything, the glory would go to that person's intellect. It would go to their so-called status. It would go to their university.
The institution that he went to.
Right, exactly.
Well, he's from Oxford. He's from Harvard, Princeton.
And then on top of that, there's nothing really spectacular about a man with a doctorate degree confounding somebody who does not have a degree. That's not spectacular.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scripture said we'd be a spectacle amongst men. It's a spectacle to see, a group of young Jakes in the prime of their life taking a Saturday off to just slice through somebody that's been studying the Bible their whole life, just asking them basic questions, and they're like, what does the word Gentile mean? Like, what is the word world in John 3:16? This guy is in charge of a congregation, or you got a woman who's been reading the Bible for 80 years, doesn't know anything about the scriptures. But these are people that are held in high regard, for being good Christians. They come across the truth and get destroyed. But that's all because the Lord wanted to choose the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, so that the glory goes to him. He gets all the credit. Now, if you don't understand that, going back to the point that the elder made, a lot of these people, they think, if I'm part of a mega church, if I'm part of an Israelite camp where there's thousands of men marching in boots and fringes, that must be who the Lord's dealing with. They have the most numbers, so the Lord has to be dealing with this. No, man, the Lord's he's never dealt with that. All right. The Lord's not when you read the scriptures is a book of theocracy and monarchy. It's not a book of democracy. Democracy is something that the so-called white man established to destroy people's minds. This idea that if a bunch of people believe in something, it must be the truth. That's nowhere in the scriptures. The scriptures dealing with a group of prophets that give counsel to a king. The king establishes order, and whoever's not with it is destroyed. That's the way of the scriptures, man. There's an authority that comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is imparted unto Israelite men, a small amount of men that goes out to the whole nation. Some people are with it, most aren't. Most are against it. That's been the whole story of the scriptures. So why would it be any different now? You had one, Kabar, you say you had one?
I got one. Is Ezekiel 11 verse 16. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord of power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them amongst the country, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the country where they shall come. That's not the point. The elder had pointed out, the Lord don't deal with the mega churches, man. He only deal with the small sanctuary, which is the elect. All right, there's only a few.
Yeah, this truth is unorthodox. It's not for everybody, and that's what makes it precious. Anything that's rare has value. All right, so if everybody got it, what value would be the truth? Even when you get to the kingdom of heaven, all of Israel is going to have it, and the heathen won't. They're going to have to learn from us. They're going to have to keep our holy days, keep our customs. If everybody on the planet got the new covenant, what value would it have?
Yeah.
But if y'all don't have, you got something?
No, I just wanted to say, a brother had posted a picture in the group chat on the WhatsApp. I'm going to say about that nigga Rick Ross. All right, with ICIU. That just go to show you the things that look good, all right, that's appealing to the eyes, and got the armbands and the leotards and shit like that on. Those are the things that people go for, man.
Yeah. The gimmicks.
The gimmick, yeah.
Which you think Rick Ross cares about Yahushua? You think?
Come on.
Did Kendrick Lamar care about Yahushua when he said on his album, we're Israelites, my cousins in the IUIC? What happened after that? Absolutely nothing. Did he repent? Did he go on the highways and hedges? Did he confess Yahushua at the Grammys? No, he's just a nigga that knows he's an Israelite.
Yeah, Rick Ross don't give a damn. All he give a damn about lemon pepper, dunks.
Lemon pepper.
Yeah. Strippers and money.
And make money Masons and shit.
Yeah.
Come.
Even Nick Cannon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the guys of this world, all they care about is making as much money as possible to give to strippers and prostitutes, man. That's their lot, man. I want to make enough money and have enough status to wife up some chick that's been ran through by rappers and ball players. That's all they care about, Jake. So getting a bunch of celebrities in your camp does what to promote the gospel? What do you? Let's say you take a bunch of celebrities and add them to your camp, and then do a live video with a bunch of celebrities. You're just going to attract a bunch of draws, a bunch of people that don't care about the Lord. They're not going to be watching your videos to get the word. They're going to be watching to be entertained, which is the story of Jake's life, man. Just constantly seeking entertainment, instant gratification, and feeding their flesh. But if a brother can get Kalai, you can get this. This is Galatians 1:6. You can get that. And yeah.
Con, I got it right here. Just the book of Galatians, chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that call you into the grace of Hamashiach unto another gospel, which is not another, but there are some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Hamashiach.
Right. When it says, which is not another, there are people that read the Bible that bring out the precepts. Some of them even teach exactly the way the apostles teach, but it's another gospel. They're not coming with the gospel in Isaiah, the 61st chapter. They're not coming with the patience and faith of the saints in Revelation 13 and 10. Their gospel is something of this world that keeps this world going, that feeds your flesh to make you comfortable. This truth is supposed to make you uncomfortable. Brothers say all the time, there's no growth that comes from comfort. The growth comes from when you're uncomfortable and you have to adjust. You have to conform to the scriptures. You have to conform to what the Spirit is saying expressly. So if you're following a doctrine that is of the Holy Bible allegedly, but keeps you comfortable in the world, then where's the sacrifice? You're still in the world, really. You're just in the world, but you know you're an Israelite. The Lord's way is way better, man. We just had the most amazing weekend, fellowshipping with brothers that could not have happened if brothers hadn't put off the old man. And if the Lord wasn't dealing with Great Millstone, I mean, there's so many things that happen behind the scenes we can't share with you people, but there's an actual ministry of prophets and saints that's being built. And
that's right.
You want to be a part of it,
And that was a true unity camp. That's a true definition.
Yeah, because we were joined in one mind. We weren't joined in, chicken with a bunch of opinions. Jake just playing dominoes, talking shit, eating chicken with fringes on, man. We can do that in the world. You get together with your uncle, you drink some Hennessy and talk shit. Like, that's not, the Lord didn't call us to do that, man. He's building a very specific temple that the brother read earlier. We're lively stones, and Yahweh Shai is that cornerstone. If you agree with that, you don't believe in the scriptures. But the brother had anything else? All right, Samaki, we can end on Proverbs 18. Read 1 and 2.
All right, this Proverbs 18:1. Through desire of man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom.
Right, having separated himself, meaning you see what the right way is, you see where wisdom is coming from, and you separate yourself so you can do your own thing. Why?
Right.
Read the next verse.
A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
Right, a fool have no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself, which, again, that word heart in the Hebrew is la'ab, which is your mind. You have people that they want their own mind to be discovered. Like, this is my opinion. I hear what y'all are saying. Now I'm going to take the scriptures and twist them to fit my own mind. I don't have, read verse 2 again, Baba Gusha.
All right, this Proverbs 18:2. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
And this is in the NLT. It says, fools have no interest in understanding. They only want to air their own opinions. Which is plain, man. What did we read about opinions earlier, man? Many are deceived by their own vain opinions. So these people don't really care about understanding. They care about getting their own point across, proving what they want to prove, and really just being a demon, man. if you have a problem with the doctrine, you have a problem with the word of the Most High. There's no way around that. You can try to act like you're serving the Lord, but as we just read in Galatians, you're serving another God, man. You're serving another a doctrine. You're serving an idol called Jesus. You're not serving Yahweh Shai Mashiach. But someone on the comment board. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to all the Akim and Akwaf on the comment board. This is Psalm 73 and 12 from the brother Muam. It says, "Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches." Right. A lot of our people, they confuse gain with godliness. So they'll see a big congregation. They'll see people with, like the brother said, with suits on, just looking like just cheap pimps. But the congregation is huge, and they see, the donations, the money flowing. They'll think, okay, this has to be godly because this is a mega church. But really, it's a bunch of people with vain opinions. Those niggas don't even agree with each other. If you were to take 100 so-called Christians and ask them questions about the scriptures, they'd all give you completely different breakdowns. Oh, the angel did this, and my grandmother. These people they're not joined on one accord, man. All right, Baptists, Protestants, Pentecostals, Catholics, they're all reading the Bible, and they all have their own personal private interpretation, which is completely against Yahweh. But yeah, that's it on that. If anybody had anything else. All right. So with that, we pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.